trying to be like that. He's just
No, he's
saying
actually a
things
really
as
nice
simple
guy.
as
Hey guys, welcome. This is going to be another stream, collaboration between me and José Rosales. Hey José Luis, ¿qué onda? 6 o'clock in the morning, okay. Well, the idea behind this stream is actually going to be like a collab between José and I. We already did one creature before. In a span like, I think it was like 6 streams. We are now creating a new creature. We actually divided the creature into several parts. You can actually see it here, like a small map of how we actually divided the character or creature. I'm not certain what it's going to be. So the blue parts in this little drawing of a man are Jose parts that he's going to be sculpting into several streams, and the red parts are actually mine parts. So Jose already did his first part of the stream, so he actually did like the top part of the head and part of the torso. So I will actually try to do like the rest of the head and the rest of the torso, and maybe a bit of the arms. Hey Glass, how are you? Ronaldo, welcome. Hey Rafael Moreno, hello. So that's the idea behind the stream. Actually, I have no idea what Jose wanted to do before, so I'm trying to look for a shape right here. So I find it a little weird the shape that he decided to do with the head. Like I'm trying to find an interesting design with it. But since I'm not allowed to change what it's meant to be like his sculpture, I mean, I'm only allowed to work on my side of the sculpture, so it's interesting to actually find a middle ground between both of our designs. I have some references on my other monitor, like of different type of animals, but it's still not sure what I'm going to. Oh, it was your idea, Ronaldo. I guess I have to keep like the same design. I mean, like the geometrical organic stuff. I'm just trying to look for a shape that. Actually, I'm going to hide everything. You also have a lot of subtools already. Oh, well. So I'm only sticking with the head and the eyes and the lower jaw that I'm creating. And I'm going to rename this because otherwise it's going to be a complete mess. Nice melody. Yeah, I'm not very fond of listening to music while I work, to be honest. But during the streams, I find it like super useful. However, the problem is you have to be very careful with the music because of copyright infringement in YouTube. So yeah, I found this actually in the YouTube library, so it's free to use. I already used it like a couple of times in different streams, so I know it's safe and they won't like mute the stream because of copyright infringement. So actually, this UI it's one of the downloads I actually have on my Gumroad. I already like shared this a couple of months ago. However, because of the new ZBrush, I already updated the Gumroad. So I removed some of the buttons here and I added like the Sculptris Pro feature and the remember draw size and remember dynamic mode. So it's an updated version of my user interface. I'm having some problems trying to adjust to his design. Maybe I'll create something like a shell. And for now I'm going to use Dynamesh. I'm not using Sculptris Pro yet because I want to have like a very low poly mesh and I'm still figuring out how to tackle this design. Ah, sí, bro. Sí, es el nuevo. Le quité unos botones al user interface que la verdad no estaba utilizando tanto como el de UVs, UV Master y cosas así. Y lo modifiqué con lo de Sculptris. Pero igual, o sea, en la misma descarga pueden ahí sacar el archivo y descargarlo sin problemas. Ese es el mismo descarga, solo que viene en la user interface y se llama Heretic 2019. So I think I'm going to mimic this like rhomboid shape on the top of the head, on the lower part of it, just because I want to keep like the same design over and over to make it more cohesive, and it doesn't look like it was actually made for by several, well, by two different people trying to keep the design as close as possible as his first sculpture. Glass Sculptris Pro seems amazing so far. One thing I've noticed, it obliterates details in some cases. Yeah, especially when you actually smooth with Sculptris Pro on. For example, when I do this, sometimes if I'm not careful and I have like the brush in a big size, it will actually tessellate and eliminate a lot of the details. That's why I actually try to work not all the time with Sculptris Pro on. For example, I will try to modify certain parts and then turn it off. That way, if I actually smooth, I won't like lose everything. Hola, ¿de dónde se descarga el UI? De mi Gumroad. Deja, pongo el link. Yeah, I found that way during the beta to be easier to work with Sculptris Pro, especially because sometimes I want to like smooth a lot of things, so I actually select like the big brush while smoothing, and that will remove a lot of detail. So I tried turning off Sculptris Pro most of the time. So give me a second. So I'm pasting the link on the page on the YouTube channel. Oh, I'm not allowed to post links, so it's going to be. Give me a sec. So that's like part of the link. I wasn't allowed to paste like a proper link. And here it is on Twitch. So I think I'm going to do something like an oyster, but with geometric shapes. I'm still not very sure about the design. I'm actually going to remove some resolution because I prefer to work like this, especially when I'm not certain what I'm doing. Hey Héctor, buenas noches, ¿cómo estás? So I think I'm going to do this like some type of armor, maybe some type of shell. really struggling with the design at this point. So I think I'm going to activate Sculptris actually because it's gonna be easier to modify certain things with Sculptris. For example, for this part, I extruded like the horn with snake hook on Sculptris mode, and then turn it off so I can actually smooth it without any type of issue. So it's gonna be a little hard to find a design, to be honest. So I guess the idea of making like a shell, maybe like an alien oyster, it's not really that bad. Well, let me save it. Hey Ashley, how are you? Hey Sinha, welcome. It's looking cool. What functionality do you have in mind for this creature? I'm not certain yet. I mean, since the idea is to create like this type of shell on the head, it's gonna be like maybe some type of not aggressive, non-aggressive creature, like maybe like a pacifist alien. Because predators don't tend to have like a shell, like a protective shell, so it makes more sense to make it a Pacific alien. ¿Practicando? Ah, perfecto. Ah, excelente. Espero que valga la pena. Todavía no sé bien qué estamos haciendo ahorita. Doing well. This will be cool, I'm sure. I hope so because I'm having a lot of trouble trying to figure out the shape of the creature, especially the mouth. I mean, Jose did like this monkey snout. I want to make something different, but I mean, I could like follow the same design. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. This this is difficult. So let me try defining some parts, even though I'm not certain of what I'm doing, but I'll try to create some happy accidents. Cuando José hizo el shell inferior, pensé que era una nave o algo así. La verdad, yo no había visto el modelo hasta ahorita. Entonces, ahorita que lo abrí, fue como de, oh, ok. Quizás lo hubiera un poco, lo hubiera abierto antes para tener un poco más en claro qué es lo que iba a hacer. Está interesante el diseño. Okay, now it's a little more clear. Hmm. I'm still not sure about the horns, to be honest. But it's better than nothing, at least for now. Mm, Actually, I think I got a better idea with the horns. So one of the cool things about Sculptris Pro is I can actually like delete this easily. So that's really, really cool. Especially if I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to mimic the part of this, like forehead with horns, weird looking shape. Like some type of crest, maybe. So since I was thinking of making like a creature like a pacifist, I tried to think like in the backstory of a creature. For example, the last one at the end, it was like a mantis um, alien bounty hunter. I still have a like I still have to make like a proper render of the creature. So I'm thinking of like an alien, maybe monk, like an alien pope, something like that. Mm, maybe I could actually make him like fat. It's gonna be like interesting this small face that Jose did, surrounded like by like a bloated fat face. Gonna be like a cool contrast of designs. And I'm gonna start saving, otherwise I'm gonna lose that eventually because it's almost certain that it will crash eventually. Triple chains. Yeah, that's gonna work. For example, right now I turned off like Sculptris Pro because even though I'm still figuring out like the design, I don't need like more resolution right now. Have enough resolution. Maybe it could be like a merchant. So there it is. Triple chains. This part, I mean, I like the idea, but right now it looks like the years of a sad dog. So I still have to work on it. So it's always useful to have references. Right now I'm watching like butterflies, like different type of butterflies. Yeah, I have a little idea with this thing. Oh, actually, it reminds me a little bit of there's an alien in Star Wars. Like it's not a Twi'lek. It's like a fat Twi'lek with long ears on the side and fat. So I'm trying to get a little bit of that, at least with like thingies on the head. Still not certain if it's going to be like some type of hat or a hard surface stuff, or maybe like some type of organic ears or tentacles. So since I already have like more of the head defined, the bottom head, the jaw, I'm going to start creating some of the anatomy. So let me check. I don't want to have like a very notable division between the top of the head and the lower part of it. So maybe at the end we could actually like merge them together. And since the top part is like a shell, it makes sense that the lower part is soft and squishy and fat. So it's looking more decent. Definitely better than what I had in mind in the beginning. So maybe this could be like some part similar to the top. So that's the idea behind it. Hey Juntai, ¿cómo estás? Uh, Let me turn off polypaint. I have no idea why it's on. Um, it's really hard to read, but I think it's a good start. Actually, this part could be like something falling from this part of the head, like this is like a protective shell for the top of the. But I'm guessing it's the ear. That way, I can actually use the design of Jose into more like a reason to have like these wings on the forehead. Mikisaurio, Hola, ¿cómo te va? Hey, hi. I'm sorry, I don't seem to be able to read your name. Let me find. Give me a second. Give me just a second. I wasn't able to know your name. Sorry. I know it's related to something of StarCraft, I think, but really hard to tell. I'm sorry. Um, Excelente, Mikisaurio. Pues aquí vamos, trabajando entre el diseño de José y integrando el mío. Hey, Seb, sí. am, de hecho, no pensaba utilizar al principio, pero fue bastante útil en lo que decidía cómo trabajar en la parte de abajo, porque esto fue la que hizo José. Entonces, la parte de abajo es la que estoy trabajando yo. So, for you new guys who just joined the stream, I'm doing like a collaboration between Jose Rosales and I. The idea is to have this character done into several streams. We've divided the character right here, I think. Yeah, here. The red parts are mine, meaning I will be doing the arms, the belly, and the jaw of the alien creature thing we're doing. And Jose is doing the top of the head, the skull, the chest, and the legs. So we already did a character before like this. It was really interesting. So this is our second character done this way. Podría ser un alien con pequeñas zonas digitales, como, no sé, como Predator. Sí, me agrada la idea. De hecho, como se ve como un poco burócrata o alguien que no se ejercita mucho, podría ponerle como varios detalles de tecnología y de joyería encima. Me agrada la idea. ¿Qué personaje es la fase 2 de Kaiju? No, ese Kaiju ya lo dejé por ahorita. Saqué un render y lo dejé de momento así. Hey, Bas, good morning. So let me share with you the kaiju I was actually talking about earlier that I did on my last stream. Currently, I only share it on Instagram, but I did a decent render of it. So that was the last render I did of my last stream. I think I'm going to turn on Sculptris and at least for the mouth because I wanted to have like these chubby lips, like very fleshy looking. For example, right now I have like the clay brush with Sculptris on. Now I'm turning off Sculptris and I'm adding detail because I don't see the point of having Sculptris all the time on. It's way easier like that, at least for the way I work. And one of the things that I noticed is that if you have like your brush, for example, clay with back facing auto back face mask on, you won't be able to turn Sculptris. For example, I have back face on, and if I want to turn Sculptris, it's gonna be deactivated. So I have to actually deactivate back face masking, and then I will be able to activate Sculptris. Sí, joyería. Joyería Allen, a ver qué tal queda. ¿Qué se siente ser un crack? No, pues esa yo no la podré responder, todavía me falta mucho. Pero muchas gracias, Miki. 5:35. Oh, wow. That's really early. So are you going to stay here for a while, or you're getting ready for, I don't know, work or maybe school? Well, I'll try to make something worth of having you awake at 5:35 a.m. So even though at the beginning it's really hard to find like the design of the creature, especially because I mean Jose did an amazing job, but it's in his style. I tend to do like stuff in a different way, which is one of the cool parts of doing this collaboration. You actually need to think not only like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this on my part of the model, but it has to look um, it has to look good, everything together. I mean, not only my parts but also his parts has to be like the same creature. And thinking in the design that way, it's really nice. It's really hard at the beginning, but it pays off. Negroski, ¿cómo está el mercado ahorita? Las compañías están pidiendo a gente que sepa usar más ZBrush o Maya o Blender. Ah, creo que depende completamente de qué estás buscando, qué tipo de industria. Por ejemplo, si lo que te interesa es la industria de 3D printing, entonces ZBrush es primordial y realmente Maya o Blender no es algo que realmente le pongan mucha atención. Si tienes en mente algo como videojuegos o VFX, entonces aunque sepas ZBrush y aunque ya es requerimiento que mucha gente sepa ZBrush, no es... Maya tiene todavía más peso porque es algo que se utiliza en el pipeline que ZBrush. So, Negros was actually asking if companies are actually like looking for people to know more ZBrush now than Maya or Blender. And I was telling him that depends completely on the industry that he's looking job. For example, for 3D printing, ZBrush has become like the main tool, and maybe now in Maya or Blender for 3D printing, it's not like a must. However, for video games or VFX, it's completely necessary. It's the opposite. You actually need to know Maya, and ZBrush is actually like a bonus. You got fired last month trying to optimize every hour to learn as much 3D game art as I can. Oh well, that's amazing. I mean, not the part of getting fired, that sucks, but that you actually investing time into getting to learn ZBrush and 3D art, 3D 3D softwares and 3D as much as possible is really, really useful. I actually have that in mind. I mean, taking like maybe a month, like a sabbatical month, just to, you know, try to get better. There are plenty of things that I still need to learn. Oh, cool. Thanks. So I hope it's useful to you. Oh, perfecto, Miki. Pues muchas gracias por andar aquí. Que descanses. Sí, espero que el resultado sea bueno yo también. Hey, Rusbe. Manocherry? I think I butchered that name completely. I'm sorry. Great, and you? We're just getting started. So I'm thinking, since it's supposed to be like maybe like a politician alien, maybe a high priest of some weird religion, I'm going to add also jewelry to certain parts of the model. Especially because, for example, the idea is to have the model created into several parts. And right now, Jose did like this part of the chest. However, it's still not very defined. So I think I'm going to tackle first the head because one thing that happened at the last stream is, well, in the last collab, is that I actually had to change the head like at least 3 to 4 times. So this time I'm not committing the same mistake. I'm defining the head. I'm trying to stick to it. Developing my skills is much better than the work I was doing anyway. And it's always good to watch others and learn some new things. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I try to, while I work, to watch as many streams as I can. It's super useful, especially because you can actually see like the way some other people think and tackle different problems. And you always learn. I mean, maybe not always related to ZBrush, but maybe you will learn something new about an animal or maybe about a movie that you're looking for. It's really cool. Oh, thanks. Well, I'm honored to have you here. So I'm not going to make like an exact copy of this part of the head, but at least I want it to look mm, like it's the same design, like the same creatures having this part like geometric shaped gun head. So I love actually Sculptris because if I only need to focus, for example, on the triple chin, I don't actually need that much geometry and resolution right here, especially because this part is going to be probably covered. I'm not sure yet, but it's like a big probability. So there is no point on working that much on that area. However, the front of of the face is gonna be like very important. So it's good to have different shapes and small details. Oh, let me save. Oh, thank you very much. I've been uploading a lot of stuff lately into ArtStation. Mostly stuff that I did during the beta of ZBrush 2018. So it's been really nice to upload all that. Unos buenos tutoriales de ZBrush como para Environment Art. Mm, había uno. Yo no creo que era de Seth Thompson. Tenía uno. Deja checo porque no estoy muy seguro. Sí. Mm, deja checo si tienen los tutoriales porque luego eso me falla un poco. No puedo poner links en YouTube, pero para tutoriales de environment con ZBrush, te pongo el nombre de quien tienes que buscar y tiene muy buenos tutoriales. So, listo, ya te puse el link. So they were asking me for good tutorials for environment art with ZBrush, and I'm not like mm, very much into environment art. However, I know like Seth Thompson. has a lot of tutorials related to environment using ZBrush, so he's really good. I think he has like a tutorial with Numan, at least one that I know of. I'm a hard surface modeler. I work mainly with 3ds Max, working on a vehicle, and Jeep goes in a puddle of water, and water splashes out. How can I sculpt water? Oh, sure. Okay, we can actually make like a drop of water here. So, like the quickest way, it's actually use an IMM brush. So I'm not allowed to post links on YouTube. YouTube is not letting me use like to post active links. So I'm going to put the name of the brushes you have to look for. Give me a second. So you can actually check those brushes. The splash brushes from the Bad King website, they're really, really good. Oh, was just shared another Gumroad tutorial for um, environment art. So let me share it in YouTube. Thanks a lot, Bass. So that's like the end of the link of the Gumroad. That um, it's Obaso, or is it just Bass? So as I was as I was telling, those brushes from Bad King, they're really really good. It's actually an IMM of different splash brushes, but we can actually make like a little splash here just for fun. And look for some references. So one of the things that we actually did on the beta was this challenge of doing like a model using only Sculptris Pro and a sphere. It was really nice. So I guess I'll do that again right here on this sphere. I'll just add some resolution to it. And so for example, for this, for creating like a splash on the top of the sphere, I will mask. I'm going to use Sculptris Pro. And oops, it's off. So I hope it actually looks well. I'm just experimenting right now. Oh, you use ZBrush mainly for environments? That's cool. It's one of those things I want to try, to be honest. Looks really fun. Oh, Bastion. This is gonna be like easier to remember and to pronounce Bastion. So thanks, Bastion. So I will actually use a snake hook to create like this crown. I think it's called crown. And the key is not to have like a very symmetrical looking splash. And smoothing, I mean, super useful for these sculptures. Ah, no, no hay de qué. Sí, es de los que yo sé que hacen environments. La verdad no conozco muchos, pero al menos sé que él hace y que es bastante bueno. So having like these, I have no idea how to call them, um, lines of action of the water in different types of shapes, some small and with different type of widths. Will make we'll try to sell the idea of water water splashing. Can I create a splash brush from a high res splash image? Well, it's gonna be hard because the image it's going to be like 2D and it's going to be like an alpha. For example, if I add an alpha right here, like this, it has certain flatness. So it's gonna be like really hard because for the splash it's like very 3D. So I think it's better if you actually use the brushes that I said from Bat King, or if you want to have like the fun of sculpting the splash, either way, that would be like how I would actually do it. So yep, that's the way I would actually do a splash of water. I mean, it's not the best, but I think it sells the idea of water splashing. Especially with Sculptris Pro, it's really easy. For example, if you want to make like little drops of water, you just use a snake hook and smooth, and boop. It's so easy. Hey Fernando, hi, how are you? So I think that's yeah. good enough, I guess. Silver, Psycho Silver, do you review work? I'm just curious about my models. Is it good enough to get a job? Yeah, sure. I'm not sure if I will be able to like review the portfolio right now, but I mean, you can actually look for me on ArtStation and send you a message to a link to ArtStation. I'll be happy to give you feedback. I mean, I don't mind at all. So you can actually look for me and my ArtStation right here. Give me a second. Right here on the bottom, and just send me a message, and I will get back to you with the feedback. That will be a cool matte sphere for a water material. Yeah. I might take this a little further, but right now I'm going to go back to the main model of this stream. And I actually like having like side projects besides the main one. For example, working on the sphere right now on the splash of water. It's really useful because you go back to the original model or your main model, and you are able to see it with fresh eyes. So it's super useful that because you are able to find some maybe mistakes or details that were hard to tell before because you're like you were already used to your model. And for example, I'm having some issues right here. So Sculptris Pro is super useful to remove those unnecessary details. For example, right here I have like all this geometry stretched. And with Dynamesh, the problem is when you actually hit Dynamesh, some of these detail that is like very close together will merge, and you will need to make like a very high polymesh in order to keep like those details from merging. So it's super useful. Sculptris for that. Um, yeah, you're welcome. Manoche. I have problems pronouncing that. Rusbe. I don't have an ArtStation Pro account. Is it okay to send you other links like Google Drive links? Yeah, sure. I mean, you can actually send them to, for example, my Facebook account or my Instagram account or to ArtStation. I'm not sure if you're able to. Yeah, I think there are messages on ArtStation. So yeah, whatever works to you. If it's easier to share on a Google Drive file link, I'm sorry, I'm fine with that. Whatever suits you better. So I'm just playing with the mouth right now, defining some shapes. So let me look for some jewelry. I'm gonna use Pinterest for finding some references. Super useful for that. Yeah, I think I have some ideas. Yeah, since the back of the head is going like very geometric shape, I think the jewelry that I'm going to add to the alien looking guy is gonna be like very geometrical also. To keep the same design over and over. It's really cool to have that type of details repeating. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's gonna be Rusi. It's easier. I think like this works better. Oh, I have an idea. Maybe I can actually add some type of like breathing system. So I'm going to look for some interesting shapes. I'm still not certain about this part. Maybe it's gonna be like a hard surface thingy, but at least I want to try. Um, mm, 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 mm. Oh, yep, I have an idea for this. So it could be like, since I'm doing, let me check if I'm correct. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do like the lower part of the head and the neck. I'm going to have like this necklace, but it's like maybe hard surface looking. Maybe it's not only jewelry, but it's also like uh, a breathing system. The Dynamesh and the Remesh do the same job. No, they're way different. For example, for this stuff that I'm working on, which is this part, if I actually hit Dynamesh, oh, let me add a little more resolution. It will try to keep the original shape, but add like a ton more of polygroups, of polygons, I'm sorry. So for example, this is my shape. And with Dynamesh, it will give me a lot more resolution to work on. However, it doesn't have any like topology flow to work on. And ZRemesher, it's it's like a quick rate topology system. For example, if I hit ZRemesh, you can actually see like there's a flow on the topology. Let me save the file first. So for example, if I go with less polygons right now and hit another ZRemesh, it will give me a new mesh. For example, this was the original mesh, and then I added like Dynamesh, and after that, ZRemesher. Yeah, you can actually see the curvature of the topology. For example, it's all straight right here, and after that, you have this curvature. So ZRemesher will be like a quick retopology system, and you can actually decide how much polygons you want on your mesh. You can go lower and lower in the polygon quantity until you have like a very low poly mesh that tries to keep the details. Yeah, it's super useful. I'm going to try to make the mouth open. See if it fits having like that stuff. Mm, I don't think it works, but I really like this effect of half open, half closed mouth. It looks more alien like that. Maybe having like double looking lips. And does he merge meshes as well? Yeah, actually, for example, mm, for this one, let's say I have another mesh right here, like this, and I'll try to close it together. And I'm going to use one of the deformers. Now, these are relatively new to ZBrush. So if you go in your gizmo into the little gear on the top left, you have like different deformers, and Remesh by ZRemesh, it's one of the new ones. What we'll actually do is remesh the entire geometry, but with the ZRemesher algorithm. So, for example, I hit that one, and here I control the how many polygons I want. It's a quick ZRemesh. For example, I can go like this. I hope it doesn't crash. Yeah, I don't think so. Yep, there it is. And you can actually see like they're matched together. Oh, no, they're not. So apparently it doesn't work like that. I was wrong. Give me a second. Yep. So apparently, ZBrush won't merge the meshes together if you want them like the meshes merged into a single geometry instead of using remesh by ZRemesher, hit remesh by Dynamesh, then you can actually remesh after that, for example, like this, and now they're merged. And after that, you hit accept right here in the gear, and this you can actually remesh. Oh, you sent me a message notification. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, send it again. I don't mind. So here it is. Like the merge two spheres after using remesh by Dynamesh and then see remeshing. You have like this merged result. Hey, Jerick, welcome. Hola, ¿cómo te va? Yeah, Bastian, I try to do the same thing. I mean, super useful. That's my main workflow also. Hopefully this time I sent the correct one. I mean, if it's not the correct one, feel free to send it again. I don't mind. So I was deciding if I should out like this part, but still not sure. I mean, since I'm already defined a little bit of the mouth, I don't want to lose it all. Royce Barber actually said you're good, but this is also educational. Thank you, and thanks to Ashley for saying that and pointing you to me. Yeah, that was pointing you. Yep. Yeah. For those of you who don't know the work of Ashley, she's also a streamer. I'm pretty sure everyone knows her, but maybe not the ones who are watching this from different parts of Latin America. So I'm gonna say that in Spanish. También pueden checar los streams de Ashley Williams. Es muy buena, hace como concepts de criaturas y así. De hecho, hace poco fue a Monterrey, a la Ciudad de México. No, a la Ciudad de México, a la Ciudad de Monterrey, para un evento. Entonces estuvo bastante interesante. My art station, it's epic. Thanks. There are plenty of works that I'm not sure if I actually should remove, but I'm keeping them, even though they're ugly. Yeah, she knows her stuff very well. When I was starting as a streamer in the Pixelogic channel, she was like one of the main references I was looking for the way she sculpts and creates like different creatures on the fly. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. I never know what I'm doing. You removed like 95% of them? Oh, I've been like very close to removing a lot of the old stuff. However, since I already have like my own personal site, that's like the main portfolio. The other one is like more like a journal of works. So I can actually see well, if I improve over the years, I will be able to see it on my art station with having like newer words, newer works next to the older ones. Gonna be useful. And when I show my portfolio, and that's not the link I give, I don't tend to give like my art station as for portfolio. I just give them my website. It's way easier. Still not sure what this is. I'm not a big fan of those of that mustache. Mm, Maybe it could be like some type of eating, like feeding system. Oh yeah, Bastion. Yeah, if you don't have like you're like an own website, like your own, um, yeah, ArtStation works perfectly. Even though eventually I think it's a better option to have like your own on site. So I have no idea what this is, but maybe it's like it's also like an armature that protects maybe with some type of force field. I have no idea. Still not sure if I'm gonna keep it. A metal beard. Yeah, he could actually have like a lot of stuff coming out of here. Like this is like I don't know, like a necklace mixed with a fitting system mixed with a metal beard. These streams are the hardest to especially when you don't have like the mesh defined. For example, right now, this is like the second stream of this creature. Yeah, a space mustache. Every alien needs one. Oops, way too strong. Not sure. Yeah, I'm not certain about this. I wonder how would you go from something like this, like that, that still feels a bit organic to hard surface. Yeah, I mean, the way I would actually do it is by remeshing this until I have like a very low poly mesh and then add like edge loops. However, since I'm not certain if I'm gonna first of all keep it and then what I don't know what it is, and I still figuring out this. Hey Abdul, beautiful. What do you think about sculpting with a mouse? Even that hard? Yeah, it's certainly possible to sculpt um, using a mouse. I mean, it's really hard, but it's not impossible. Especially if you already know how to draw or maybe like to sculpt traditionally. You're gonna be like a little more slow using a mouse, but I don't know, it's still doable. Want to try something that it crossed my mind right now. But first, let me save it. So I just want to see if four eyes work, but no, I think it feels a little way too weird. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Yeah, it didn't look really good. It looked like two different animals, one on top of the other. Yeah, I think I have an idea for this one. Like a croc. I love crocodiles, so it's cool. Oh, I have an idea, a more decent one. So this could be like the structure of actually like a breathing system. So what I'm thinking it's having like I'm gonna use an example with a sphere, for example, like this. So these are actually like the basis for a very thin, like protective, like this. And this part would actually be like transparent. Maybe like it would have like the shader of like a bubble, Yeah, it makes more sense than just having like random shapes. Thanks, Bastian. Yeah, I think this works. Even with the low poly like mesh looking thing, I think that works too. Yeah, I can add another one right here. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea, Bastian. I'm gonna keep like the triangulated mesh. I'm actually gonna subdivide it, but the key here, it's turning off smooth. So I go to geometry, and right here, like in subdivisions, I'll turn off subdivide smooth modifier. Now, for example, I have this, and I've subdivide, and you can actually see like it gives the shape. Then again, and I have like the entire mesh with the original shape with more polygons, so I have like more freedom of modifying the mesh, especially because I wanted to fit like this curvature, but it's keeping the low poly mesh looking thingy. Yep, I love the idea. I mean, it's gonna be different. It has a very alien look to it. Yeah. At the end, it fits with the back too, as Bastian said. So it works. It all works. I'm not sure if I want like this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I wanted to have like a helix going through this, but maybe what I'm going to do is this part and this part. I'm gonna give them more like a tree branch look, with having different extrusion, different parts, so it looks more elegant, and so it does look like very different from this part. Oh yeah, Plo Koon. That that was actually one of my favorite Jedi's. It's a shame the way he died. Very anticlimactic, just being shot. But yeah, I'm a big fan of different types of masks. So Plo Koon was my favorite Jedi because of the mask that he's wearing. Even though it's a breeding mask, the design was really cool. So what I'm going to do with these ones is actually merge them. Merge it down. Where is it? Here it is. And this is the new mesh. And I'm going to use Remesh by Dynamesh. And now that they're together, now it's symmetrical. Oh yeah, well, yeah, Psycho Silver is saying that Revan and Starkiller have the best masks. Yeah, that's for sure. But from the movies, I mean, besides Vader, I think, well, I don't know, Kylo Ren mask is really cool. Where I'm not a big fan of the new movies, so I'm not counting them. Yeah, I think the coolest one is the one from Starkiller, from like the evil ending. That's the coolest one. Mm, So I'm going to make a little wider this part, especially because the geometrical like breathing thing, it's very non-symmetrical. So I have to make this a little wider so it doesn't look weird. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on this part. Hopefully on the rest of the character I will be able to repeat the same pattern. Hey Glass, thanks. It's been a tough one, but I'm really into the design right now. especially because when I'm designing like alien stuff, it's really hard to create something that looks not human. And I think at least with this, I have been able to create something different that it does look alien. And I'm going to do the same thing. Divide, turn off smoothing groups. And I'm gonna make this fit. Oh yeah, the Star Wars lore is amazing. I mean, the new movies I'm not a big fan, but all the other stuff they're creating, for example, comics and um, this TV show Rebels was really good. I wasn't sure when they announced they were going to have like a separate timeline, and they were like that the old stories were not canon anymore. They were Star Wars legends, like for example all the old comics and video games and movies and all that. They weren't canon because of the new saga, but at least for what have they done lately, it's been really good, except for the movies. I'm a big hater of the movies. Not visually. Visually, they're beautiful, but story related, uh, not a big fan of them. So what I'm going to do is create like little branches to make it look more organic and elegant. And I think I'm gonna call it done. It's a really interesting design. I really want to create different parts with this triangulated geometry. Looks cool. So let me save it. So I'm going to use Sculptris Pro again to create the little branches. Then I'm going to remesh everything and create a low poly mesh with ZRemesher. If I knew since the beginning that I was going to do something like this, for me it would have been easier to create all this with C-spheres. Way, way easier. But now, on the next stream, since I already know I'm going to keep doing this design, this type of... I have no idea how to call it, like branch-looking armor, next time gonna be easier. Especially because I'm going to use C-spheres for it. Like even the new movies. I'm a big fan of the movies, but the new ones have, well, not all the new ones. Rogue One was, at least for me, like one of the best movies they've done lately. But Last Jedi's and Force Awakens was a little disappointed. So I already have this. I think I'm going to save it like this. And I'm going to see Remesh all this to have a lit. I have like a very bumpy geometry, and see remeshing this is gonna be super useful to remove all those bumps. So yeah, I think this is good enough. I'm not gonna use Sculptris Pro right now, and I'm going to try to keep the same width in the different types of branches of the thingy, armor, whatever it is. I can actually, one of the cool things of using Remesh is at the end I can actually use Modeler, and I can play with the shapes a little bit more. For example, for this one, I can actually make this edge look more like hard surface and not just something very smooth. Same for this one. Seems like a nice way to add vines in the environment stuff as well. Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the way most of people do vines and stuff like that, but super useful. I mean, and quick. It's been, I think, since for R8. Now, maybe earlier versions have Modeler, which is it's like having like Mayas and Blenders and 3ds Max box modeling abilities. So it's super useful to add loops and extrude. Yeah, I agree. The new movies could be better. I mean, they're not like the worst, but definitely they could improve a lot of stuff. To be honest, I'm not really excited for the new trilogy. I feel I don't know, since they're going to be like making a lot of movies, I'm not really that excited anymore. But maybe it's just me like being super grumpy about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is not going to be like the final shape, especially because I want to add maybe smaller branches like here and here and here. But at least so far, I think it sells the idea pretty good. What I want to do. Oh yeah, and even like some of the new characters I really love. Also Finn, I find Finn super funny, but I don't know. With that story, I find it hard to get into the movie. At least Kylo Ren in the newest one, in the Last Jedi, was way cooler than on Force Awakens. They fixed that character. How long does it take to learn ZBrush? I mean, it's really quick to get like used to the interface and what brush do what thing. So I guess it depends how completely how much time you invest into the software. But I'm pretty sure around in a week you will be able to create like pretty cool stuff with ZBrush. I mean, even now I'm learning a lot of stuff, especially because of the new features they added. But yeah, I'm pretty sure with a week, like starting all day, you will be able to have a pretty decent level with ZBrush. It's a pretty easy to use software. Movies that I have to see. So I think I'm going to call it done for now. There are plenty of things I still have to work with the model, but I think so far it's looking pretty decent. So yep, I welcome Gray. Um, yep, I think I'm going to call it done for tonight. Next stream, well, my next stream is next Thursday, which is um, let me check the calendar. So so the next stream, which is going to be like a collaboration, it's going to be April 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 10th by Jose. So Jose is going to continue the model. He's going to be doing like, I don't know, maybe the rest of the body. Oh no, it crashed. Well, I was able to save it. And after that, I'm going to make my own stream the 12th. Oops, let me check if you actually save the file. Otherwise, I'm gonna be. Oop. Apparently. Oh, yeah, it's saved. It was saved. Oops. So I knew it was going to crash eventually. It always happens to me, especially during the streams. But anyway, thanks to everyone who was like here in the chat. It was really great. Um, you can find me on social media as Heretic Templar. Most of my different pages like Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and ArtStation. Thank you, Bastian. I hope you had a great time. I did. So, yep. Until next stream. Oh, thanks, guys. Have a good night.